You have no idea what's about to happen. Exactly, because we should expect the unexpected. Hello everyone, hope you guys are having an amazing day. XRP is around $2.18. I don't know why, but I feel extremely bullish right here and right now. Right? Maybe it's because of the news that just recently came out, guys. But truly, I do feel bullish. And not to mention, I think Bradgarlinghouse right here confirmed our idea or feeling. Bradgarlinghouse tweets out or replies to this tweet 1,000% of what? I know many people who got tattoos when they were young and regret them because life changes. When someone with a Harvard MBA gets a tattoo after 50, they have thought about it through and know it's only going to change in a good way. Lock in. Bradgarlinghouse has zero doubt, right? And then Bradgarlinghouse replied with 1,000%. That reminded me. Wait, 1,000%. If that's the case, right? And XRP does pump 1,000% from where we're at right now, where would that even take us to? Above $20. Interesting, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know who said, I think it was David Shores that said around that price too. Mr. Pool definitely talked about around this region as well, guys. And then Credible Crypto as well, right? Certain analysts talked about how XRP can or will hit like this $20 area, right? So that's fascinating to think about, huh? But he probably means literally XRP will change in a good way, right? It's going to take over the world. He didn't even throw any cryptic messages out there. He literally just took a picture, laugh now, but one day XRP will power the world. That was from Bradgarlinghouse, guys, right? That's why Arthur Brittle said it needs to accommodate 7.5 billion people around the globe, right? Which is the entire world. Interesting, isn't it? So if that's truly the case, and we're talking about astronomical gains, well, what price does that mean? Bradgarlinghouse confirms XRP will play a key role in a new banking system. XRP to $1,000 to $10,000. Is it possible? If we're talking about powering the whole globe, guys, easily, easy.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked this because I'm always amazed as I travel the world, you know, how there is still confusion out there. And people say to me, I invested in Ripples. I'm like, no, you probably invested in XRP. Ripple is in many ways kind of a quintessential Silicon Valley tech company. We raised...
So my question is, why do all these so-called elites, right, or major players in certain positions say, when they talk about XRP, they say Ripple? A blatant lie, shall we say.
A seed round of capital way back in 2012, a Series A investment in 2014, and then a Series B in 2016. And we have always, you know, since those early days, kind of focused on our customers are going to be enterprises, financial institutions, and we use XRP in part because we own a lot of XRP. XRP is an open source digital asset, not dissimilar to Bitcoin or ETH. It's, you know, on hundreds of exchanges around the world. It uses a different mechanism for validating transactions, where instead of proof of work or proof of stake, it uses something called a consensus mechanism, which allows it to be very scalable in terms of speed of transaction, cost of transaction, and just overall scalability. So we felt like it worked well for the cross-border payments. So there's
which is why it's going to power the world, right? You and I don't need to have or even know about XRP. Why? Because it's going to be flying under the radar, or literally, shall I say, lightning under the radar, right? Because that's how XRP moves. It literally teleports. But the reason I say this is because banks will know about it, but you won't, right? So when you go to a bank and when you want to send money across the globe, across borders, there's going to be like, okay, sure. You want to choose this path or this other path? Slow. I think in the beginning it's going to be like, we have a new technology perhaps, and it's much more faster, cheaper, and efficient. And, you know, the transparency is 100%, right? And you know where the money is going to because it's on the blockchain, right? It's on the ledger itself. So would you choose this path number 1, or path number 2, which is Swift, right? And they already know about that. What do you think the person will say, path A or path B? Everyone's going to path A, which is XRP, right? And then throughout time, when it's fully integrated, guys, right? Then I think that's just going to take over. And you won't even have to, there won't even be an option. You'll just go with that streamlined path of path A.
Ripple, a company, there's XRP, the digital asset, then there's XRP Ledger, XRPL. And the reason I kind of call that out sometimes is Ripple is one important participant in the XRPL ecosystem, developer of XRPL related technologies, but there are obviously a whole bunch of others, as you'd expect in an open source community. And we're seeing you know, other participants do some really interesting stuff that sometimes we're involved in, sometimes we're not involved in. And so it's, I think, important for people to kind of understand the separation and distinction between those.
For sure. I mean, just quick question. Does that confusion that some people have, does it annoy you, or is it like, well, this is a chance to educate, or is it just one of those things?
Probably all three. Depending. I mean, it annoys me when you're someone who I kind of feel like knows the difference or should know the difference, and I feel like they're just contributing to the confusion. It's also like I get it in the evolution of crypto. Until probably 2019, I think CoinMarketCap.
Right there, did you see? Right, that's exactly what I was talking about too. There are certain people in position of power right now, right, in governments and all these different companies and institutions. When they want to talk about XRP, they say Ripple, right, which is the company, the fintech company. So that's a little bit strange, right? Again, to confuse people, you literally just said that. So what's the game plan here? So things are looking amazing, like splendid, guys. Here we go. What's about to happen? The case is about to be dropped. 100% confirmed. All we need now is a confirmation from the SEC, and from then on, it's this. Right? It's already begun, to be honest. But the SEC meetings and other events, closed meeting, July 3rd, they have another Sunshine Act notice, which I'm guessing they're going to be talking about the Ripple case, right? 100% they have to, since it just came out that Ripple will drop its appeal. The SEC's next move could end it all. If they follow through, XRP isn't just ready, it's about to rip, right? July 3rd, the moment of truth. I think it's going to happen in July then if it happens, right? Now that's fascinating when they have a July 3rd meeting, because the day after is what? July 4th. Celebrations and fireworks. You know why that's odd a little bit? For Mr. Poole himself tweeted out what? 4-7, but it could be 7-4, right? Mirror dates. Which comes out to what? 7-4, a day later from the Sunshine Act meeting, guys, right? There's a child or a being sitting on the moon, right? Looking at all the other hot air balloons. Keep this in mind, because we're going to be coming back to this photo, this image, which connects to Uphold and Ripple, maybe buying out Uphold. Okay, the moon, 7-4, then more moons, right? This is literally us looking at the night sky, and we're literally seeing all the phases of the moon, right? In one singular picture, because I'm guessing it encompasses the entire moon, guys, right? Which is one full-blown moon from all its phases, which means to moon, literally and metaphorically. This easily, again, this is all for 7-4, folks, a day after the SEC meeting, right, closed meeting. This is all green, right? The night sky is all green, guys, due to a phenomenon. This obviously has to tie into XRP. What else could it tie into? And you think we're just joking or lying? No. Mr. Poole, that's why I'm excited. Mr. Poole, literally on this day, on 10/24, tweets out, message begins launch 7/3. One date's November 3rd, but then 4/7, again, mirror dates 7/4. 7/4 is what? Launch. Message begins, then message ends. Come on, guys. Right? Then 4774, again, the impossible dream. Good luck. It's about to activate, right? If this is truly the case, that means the impossible dream is going to turn into possible, right? A possibility in the near future, like literally in the coming week. Simple. And is it possible? XRP from Baba Cooks, right? This is another person. This is one of us, basically, okay? Baba Cooks, one of us who cracked the code on When Moon. This is how, or that's why the Riddlers, Bearable Guy, Mr. Poole, right? That group of people contacted Baba Cooks and stating that you're on the correct path. And he was the only one that did it, right? The Riddlers didn't contact anyone else except they contacted Baba Cooks in saying that he's on the correct path. I don't think they did that to anyone else. They did do a treasure hunt with someone else, but what I'm saying is they knew that he knew the answer, right, or was close to it. And Baba Cooks told us, right, again, he's one of us because he cracked the code. And he's not a part of the Riddlers, right? But he knows about it. $10 in July 2022, $50 in September, $589 November, $1,000 January, $55,000 November. Right? That's so crazy, isn't it? Again, July, double digits. Bradgarlinghouse just tweets out 10,000 or 1,000%, right? $20. 6 July 6th, 13, and on 13 dates, rituals take place. Positive or negative, who knows? 713 right here, it can come out to 74. 1 plus 3 could be 4. So 713, expect the unexpected. 74, expect the unexpected. Right? Will you be here? 712. Smile. Smile because it's nearly over. This was for 712, guys. Smile because it's nearly over. That's going to be a 1 year delta. So if this is not all bullish, then I don't know what you're imagining here, guys, because look how much liquidity there is to the top side. Again, that's all for riddles, but when you talk about simply, purely off the charts, it matches up to being bullish as well. Clearly, and this on hourly, right? Daily, it's even more explosive. There's so much liquidity at till 240, then it's at 250, and then to 270. Right? It's like when this domino falls, it's going to propel to this domino falling, and it's going to propel to this one falling, right? And look how much liquidity there is to the downside. Literally nothing. Literally, right? Because everyone just got in, guys. The insiders knew. Huh? That's about to go berserk. On 628, smiley face, but it seems like this paint is drying, right? Or crying, which tells me he isn't crying because he's sad, but he's crying because he's happy, right? He's joyful, guys, right? Tears of joy. That's what it's called, right? Very beautiful, guys. Very, very, very beautiful. I do have more fantastic connections to July, but I'm going to save that because it gets even more crazy. But let's go to this tweet from Uphold. Interns checklist. Phase 1, secure the Uphold hot air balloon. Phase 2 is question mark. Phase 3, full liftoff. You know where. Interesting. So phase 1 is to secure the Uphold hot air balloon. The only other place I've seen hot air balloons from Mr. Pool, from Ripple Red Alert, and then hot air balloons, which connects to the moon. Interesting, huh? That comes from Uphold. Then Tony Valentino just tweeted this as well. Ripple and Uphold. He's only following 2 accounts, Ripple and Uphold. Why? Right? Look at this. Uphold. This was from Ripple Red Alert, right? The video. XRP on a hot air balloon. But that's Uphold right here. Same exact thing, guys. Right? So they told us in plain sight. Here are all the other hot air balloons. At Ripple FX, the Bloomberg Close America's edition. Wow. So why is this the case? Well, we might see Ripple buy an exchange, and Uphold is the most logical target. Why? Uphold holds nearly 3.4 billion XRP, deep XRP liquidity, and strong United States user base. Strategic fit for Ripple's global expansion. Sales to exchanges are Ripple's best path forward, but owning one, game-changing. Exactly. Right, Riddlers were fake, they said. There was only one person who called it first. It was the Riddlers. But the Riddlers pointed to the Declaration of Independence. Maybe a hint to July 4th, and he goes through a wormhole at the end, shows XRP in celebration. The fountain for today's video comes from NotFinancialAdvice.crypto. Get ready for world currency shows what? Stellar, kind of, right? But above this, it says 10, which is in the number 10 is X in Roman numerals, right? X. Stellar, it doesn't have any X in it, but there's one that I do know. It's XRP. Confirmation is XRP. Said it in 1988, by the way. Not financial advice. But it was so. See ya.